when you are looking in the hiring process, when you're looking for candidates that you want to be on your team, what sort of hard and soft skills are you looking for that ideal candidate?
That is such a good question. And I'll be honest, I don't think I've quite figured out exactly what I need. I know I need someone who buys into the brand and its mission, first and foremost. I've worked with people who are really good at maybe a skill like writing or like social media content, like scheduling and putting content together and putting it out there. But if they haven't bought into the brand, it really lacks a ton of enthusiasm, and it puts a lot more work on my plate, which therefore there's no reason to hire in the first place, that there's nothing really being delegated. So I would say first and foremost, someone who like lives and breathes your brand, and it's okay if they're not a good fit for you. You can find someone who can. I would not make the decision on hiring someone out of scarcity or I need someone so bad, like she or he will just have to do for now. Building a team with that kind of thought process, even for yourself, also for the individual, is very toxic. Ultimately, it's not going to end well. So kind of correcting something with a short-term thing, there will be a long-term loss, to making sure that there will be more destruction in the long term, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And if you just took your time up front and really found the right person for that role. I know I have people, when I bring someone on, I have them, I have a course called Copy Cure. One of the big, from Marie Forleo, one of the things that I tend to really need help with is we do a lot of writing. We've done a lot of writing in the past, whether it's content for social, which is always a constant ongoing, to content and copy for websites and brochures in the past, not presently, but like there was just always so much to write. And I could only do so much writing. So I would hire people to come on and help with that. So Copy Cure, they'd have to read a couple of books in order to even be considered into Atomic Habits as one of those books. I have read many more since then that I would also require. Essentialism is another one I just finished yesterday, literally, that I would require a read. Just to make sure, again, like it basically spells out expectations, and then there would be kind of an onboarding period of like a period of time, 30, 60 days, where you just work together. Some of them I would throw a project to just to see how we work together on the project. And if that went well, I'd have her come on and do more consistent work, but never just went all in, really had a testing period. I've had some interns that have turned into people who have worked on the team. I've had interns that have not turned into people working on the team. So just kind of working from those angles.
Wow, that's cool that you want to see their hands-on experience rather than just looking at their resume or doing a quick interview or whatever it might be.
Yep.
So what client are you most proud of and why? Or what has been one of your favorite projects? Has it touched you in some way?
Yeah, no, this was a hard one. I stirred on this one, even just this morning. And I have to say, it's real, and this is the most basic answer you're ever going to probably get, I'm proud of all of them. And the reason is because our process is so integrated into understanding their whys, their needs, their business. Like we literally, I embodied them, which was, and sometimes almost to an unhealthy standpoint, because I literally would want their business to succeed. It felt like more than they did. It was like I lived, breathed, and drank everything I looked and saw. Like I'm driving down the street and I'm like, yes, I like the tagline. All right, we're out to the brainstorm list. And so, we did the best with what we knew at the time. Pulse has been closed now for a few years. And I think even if it was open now, I could be so much more effective for my clients and all the things I've learned, in the last handful, a couple, 2-3 years now since closing it. But I also have to give myself grace. We gave it 1,000% per client. And I really do think and feel that if you were to talk to someone who we worked with, they would say, yes, we felt that. That's what we got from them. Again, today I could do a way 1,000 better percent for them, but what we knew at that time, and I'm proud of all of it. I'm proud of what we put out. And I'm proud of our business survived for 5 years, basically off of referrals. So it is a testament to how, our service really was good for a while.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's the best way to learn too. I mean, you're not going to know how to handle situations in the future if you don't, not that you failed, but had those hard times in the past, so kind of opposite of that. How would you and your team handle a crisis? Or can you give us an example of a crisis and how you've solved that?
Yeah. I think the one that comes to mind is we were working with a healthcare company, and on a website, and this gosh back in 2017. I'm going to dig deep here, and they had their basically our website project, and we were like migrating data over, for lack of all the technical terms, and we had communicated that the data migration was going to end here, or our start was here, our end was here, and then their company was going to shut it off. So it was just seamlessly brought over all the good things. Well, there was a miscommunication somehow with everyone, and what happened is they shut off the stuff. Anyway, long story short, they were out of their email, like their whole system was shut down for client care in the middle of the day, and their boss was out of town, like the owner of the medical practice was out of town. And so it was like all hands on deck between my team, their team, my girls who were like physically in my office, my web team who was out of Minnesota. There got like, it was an afternoon of complete stress, nothing but phone calls. For half a minute, it got to who's to blame, which it wasn't us, PS, but it was us who got the heat, which is fine. That happens more often than you know. And you know what you do? You take it and you gracefully handle it, and you don't sit there and blame that it was the other company, and you don't get mad or angry. You just tell them, I will take care of you. Yeah, like sidebar. So that's what we did. That's what we did. But it took, unfortunately, a few days to tackle all of the stuff, because when the migration was not done, all the things. So we ended up having to set them up with temporary things. We handled it. It was clunky for a few days for them, but and we ate it. We ate the entire cost of that. When I say we, I mean myself. Our web team billed us. I didn't bill the client. We just took it. We just took it on and we took care of it. And I think too that it's important to understand that when those things come along, because they will, and this one was probably one of the bigger ones that's ever happened to us. Honestly, we very rarely had craziness like this take place. So when it did, we were like, oh crap, what do we do? And again, I just told the girls, you take care of the client. I don't care what it costs. I literally told them I don't care what it costs. Came out of my mouth. I don't care what, if they have to work around the clock for one day, take care of it.
Our relationship is more important, right?
Yep. Oh, for sure. And the thing is like it happened like on, a Tuesday when I already had 6 things on my calendar. So this throws in. So I really had to lean on. I had 2 gals at the time working in the office, and my web team to just handle it. And I did it with full 100% trust that they were going to do it the right way. After I, of course, said, well, just do whatever it means to take care, or whatever it is to take care of the client, do it. I don't even care. The answer is yes, do it. So they did. That's how you handle a crisis.
So kind of switching gears, for anyone young watching this or anyone in their early career stages, what is something that you would encourage to do? Or what is something how you can help build your own personal, your own personal self, I guess, within those early stages?
Yeah. The first thing I have here is to network. Get out and network, whether that be in a physical space like a chamber of commerce or a young professionals group, or whatever your community has to offer you. Go and sign up, pay the dues, and show up. Like, it's so important. I would make a goal. When I was first new here, like I said, everyone is building their relationship, who they did marketing with, around like, I'd known her for 20 years. I've known him for how long? And I was like, well, crap. Okay, so I've been here for a month, and I have a job where I make money, like commission dollars based on how much I sell. Cool. So I better go meet people. And so I made a goal for myself that I would go into these chamber events alone, which I know is so scary. But I promise you, just 20 seconds of courage, girl, just 20 seconds. So get in there, walk in the door like you freaking own the place. First of all, show that you have confidence, even when you don't, if that's called courage, however. And that's how you get confidence. And make a goal. And my goal was to collect 10 business cards. So basically you're saying I'm going to have 10 conversations with people who I can get a card from and follow up with. Now, obviously, if you have a conversation with someone who really isn't your ideal client, you switch cards. The follow-up might just be something like, hey, nice to meet you. But if it's someone who can actually do a business transaction with at some point and you want to get to know better and you want to get to start building and nurturing that relationship, your follow-up that is that very next day, I'm saying, hey, great to meet you, invite them to a lunch, a coffee, whatever it is that you can do, whatever makes sense in your situation. But don't don't drop that ball. Because my promise to you is that if you have a good conversation and it's worth, a little bit of there's something to gain, something in it for them too, they'll say yes to that lunch. And now you have another opportunity to let them know about who you are, what you do, what you stand for. And people do business with people that they like. So at the end of the day, I got to earn some of those people's business only because I followed up, only because I showed up, only because I showed them who I really was, because I wasn't willing to flex that. PS, that's another note too. Don't change who you are for others. Be yourself. All right, so that's the first one. The second one is clarity. If you have a business and you're starting out, and this is not something you have to know right away, because I don't think anyone really does right out of the gate, but know who you are, what problem you solve as a business, who you solve that problem for, know your audience, who's your ideal customer, and also how do you uniquely solve it? What kind of your point earlier, Kate, what is your unique, what makes you different than all your the people selling business coaching and marketing, all those things for me? It's well, I have a course now. I have a system that I have developed. I have a system that has served and helped, possibly hundreds of businesses. I've trained on it for over a decade now. So it's getting that clear. And sometimes that clarity doesn't come until you take action. So networking and kind of working through that, taking some action, even small action, and then hopefully that will help you define the clarity and answer those 3 questions.
I know you said networking in person is very important. And I feel like for me, it is terrifying to be I want to walk in the office and tell them who I am, or I want to walk into this conference and meet people. It's terrifying, especially when you're just oh God, who are it's terrifying. Do you think that it is beneficial to reach out on social media or LinkedIn to introduce yourself or your business? Do you think that that's beneficial, or do you think that it's better to get that face to face?
I think both. So I do a combination of both. Actually, I probably do more now, the LinkedIn social media DMing than I have been in person. Part of it, the state of the world. Previous state of the world. I think we're better now, at least here, but also because it's efficient, too. Fun story. I actually, to kind of prove your point correct. Yes. I was at a virtual conference for a company, a media company in New York. I was listening into at the end of January it was. And there was a speaker that was on, and she had done it the year before too. So the last year I followed her on social, mainly Instagram, and was once again crazy inspired by her. So I was like, I'm going to go and just comment and let her know on her Instagram that I really enjoyed her presentation. So I did. And of course she commented back, and I fangirled out because, oh my gosh, at least she commented back to me, little old me. I am a nobody compared to her, right? It's I'll help me feel, by the way, we are somebody's. So so that was on a Thursday. Flash forward to that next Sunday, a few days later, I'm you know what? I bet she had, I wonder if she has, if she coaches people. I'm looking for a coach. So I was yeah, maybe I should just check it out. Sure enough, she coaches people. So I literally filled out the form online, submitted it, scheduled a coaching call for that Monday, the next day at noon, and had the call for 1 hour with this girl, and totally just fangirl. She coached me for an entire hour for what it would I was probably talking 100 miles a minute because I just want to get it all in. I got 1 hour, get it all in. To bring us back to present day, we now meet and this is a little probably not normal, but because of the nature of our relationship, and because she liked me, and because of the connection we made, and this is started on Instagram, mind you, turned into a phone call. We now Zoom every Thursday at 1 just to support each other in our businesses and how we can help.
Wow.
It went from an Instagram post to a weekly Zoom call, just like we're doing right here, to a woman who I have had on a pedestal for the last year and loved her coaching. Now we're working together because there's things we can do to help each other. We realize that we can do that. That is one of 3 people I've done that with in the last 3 months. Wow. She's one story of 3. So yes, that's a short answer. The power of, I had a I had 2 Zooms last week with people, one in Texas and one in Southern California, who I met on social. So the power of social media connection, I will say the one thing is like to vet them out and make sure that they're the right person, because the reason those results took place and have happened and now we're like best friends basically, it feels like, is because we vetted each other first. So just to go and casually start messaging people on social media might not serve you as well, or may not get the result you want. But if you do vet someone, you're like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to partner with her on like, and you kind of have a almost like a pitch, soft pitch, or like a reason basically to have them spend some time with you to respond to that message, would be how I would leverage that piece of it, and go for it. And do not get discouraged if you don't hear back, because seriously, they most likely won't respond back to you. Keep trying, find others. It's a numbers game always. It doesn't matter what you're doing, half the time it's numbers. So just make sure you're reaching out to the right people. The power of connection and being yourself is 1000% like the most effective approach to any kind of marketing or selling of yourself.
Right. Your own branding, being authentic and unique to yourself and showing that, showcasing that. Yeah, absolutely. All right. Lastly, my last question for you. Is there any other advice that you would like to give people entering the field? I know you've given a lot, but is there anything else, or maybe something you wish you knew that you know now?
Gosh, you know, I wish I knew all the things I know now. Here's the thing I will tell you is continuously feed, like learn, watch, model. One of the things that I took the opportunity for during COVID and being shut in, like what I haven't shared is, you know, we launched ladybee. So we closed Pulse Marketing in December of 2019, worked our asses off on ladybee for 2 months, and did this huge launch party and did this like, you guys, I sunk so much money into this, and we had the community buzzing, and we had a party of like a DJ going and people getting their hair done, and just women were all over. It was awesome. That was March 8th. And then we all know what happened next. And no joke, everything quieted. Like the town, like the world just shut down. And I stopped everything for ladybee that we had. The momentum was so good. I mean, it was like this. And it didn't start back up again until September of 2021. Like I literally was off for a year and a half. I took care of my kids who were going through some of their own personal challenges with the COVID stuff. My husband was still working out of the home for their business, and he was working long hours. Like everything just halted. And so I share that because I hope we don't ever have that opportunity again, but I took that opportunity to sink all of that time and energy into self-growth, development, feeding my head, getting out of the phone and feeding my mind with books and podcasts. And let me tell you, it is easy in business to start looking at other people are doing and compare yourself to them. It's easy to start looking at someone who's been doing it for 10 years longer and still be like, why am I not that successful yet? So therefore, just remember, read the books. And I would also, one kind of final comment to that is I also ran my first half marathon during the COVID, and I would recommend not necessarily running a marathon, even though I've run one more and I will run 4 more this year, in preparation for a full next year. But my point of that isn't to gloat, even though it is something that's really exciting. It's to take care of your body. It's to feed your body, not just your mind, but your body too. My podcast is about that. It's about, healthy mind, healthy body, healthy business. So if you're feeding your mind with good stuff, if you're feeding your body with good stuff, you're going to have the energy and the stamina and the withal to like go at it. Because there are going to come those days, those hard days when you're just wanting to say, I'm done. I'm so over this. I went to my attorney in 2019, November 2019, before just closing it, to just shut her down. Like, give me the list of what I got to do. Like, cause I was just so done. But I wasn't done. I wasn't. So you're going to have moments like that where you're just like, I am done. But your healthy mind, healthy body will help you get through those hard days too. And it will give you the stamina. You'll have the energy. So that's where I will leave you at. Just feed your mind. And if you ever want book recommendations, I just ordered 2 more yesterday. That'll be here tomorrow. I read a book a week. So,
wow, really? What kind of books do you like? Do you think that like self-care and like mental health like books, do you think that those are good to read, or what's your book of choice?
Yeah. So I read Essentialism.
Essentialism.
So the last 2 I've read are Essentialism. This one is just about like clearing the clutter, like literally, mentally, physically, all of it. So just really, so this is about like fierce clarity. This is a good one. This talks about fierce clarity in your business, but also in your team. So if you have, like a very clear vision and mission for your business and your team is all on board, it kind of goes to the comment earlier where like they have to buy in, like they have to live, breathe, and like sleep wanting women to succeed in business and supporting them and helping them. And like we talk about, like it is to embody ladybee, like bees pollinate and help things to grow. Like you must be one to not get stuck in your own head and be mad that your business isn't growing as fast as someone else's, but you go help and support her, and we all grow together, as a collective. This is on the same lines. This is the subtle art of not giving a bleep. And this also is similar in line to the content of just like, be you, dude and girl, like do that. Like just do you and don't worry about what everyone else is. It's a very quick read. He's got another one too out, I guess. But yeah, it's an approach of living a good life that is on your own terms, not someone else's. I think we tend to, especially, when I was thinking my only option was to go get a job somewhere else after, choosing not to want to be sold with this company. The fact, and I'm not mad at myself, but the fact that I didn't think of having my own business on my own kind of bothered me. I was like, why did I not think that was an option? But we're so like in this ingrained, like work the 9 to 5 for someone else that God forbid we choose to want to build our own business. And then we have mom or dad or aunts or brother or someone close to us, usually telling us all the reasons it's not going to work out. And this basically gives you like all the knowledge, not all, but some of the knowledge to say, and to live like, no, I'm going to do this, whether you are supporting me or not, whether you think I should or not, I'm doing it.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, thank you for the book recommendations. I definitely will have to check it out because I'm always looking for a new good read. I know I already asked you, or I already said I would ask you the last question, but I am curious because I think it's right across your shirt. It's right in front of me. Why did you go with the name Ladybee? What inspired it?
So the lady was because I'm supporting women in business, and I just wanted to make that like really clear in the name. And then B is like I shared earlier, bees pollinate to help people or plants and things to grow, and it's also the first initial in my name of Becca. And also on March 8th was the birthday of my grandmother, who couldn't make the opening, but it was her birthday, so we did birthday dinner afterwards, and she unfortunately did pass away during COVID. So it's a kind of a sweet, I guess, memory with her. We have a picture of her with the Lady B. We have t-shirts too, of her wearing a Lady B t-shirt on her birthday. But yeah, it was just a really crystal clear way to express that we are helping women to grow, if you kind of put those together.
I love that. Oh, that is so cool. I know when you said the whole pollination thing, I was like, is that why she named you Lady Bee? I think so.
Yes. Well, if you ever research bees, if you ever have a free minute, bees are really fascinating insects. So, but yeah, so anyway, that's why.
Awesome. I love it. Well, that kind of concludes our interview today. Thank you so much for your time, Becca. It was awesome to talk to you.
Thank you. It was fun.
All right, guys. Again, I am your host, Kate Landgren, and this was the business. This was the business takeaway. Please do not forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be all up to date with all of our videos. And go ahead and feel free to reach out and check us out about anything.